up your YouTube, search for Stukeley Meadows, watch on your big screen.
Or another device if you're at home.
Get yourself comfy, this could take a while. What a happy scene. Something new every day for your long-term memory. This is so exciting, it is nearly time for a Stukeley assembly. Good morning or good afternoon everyone, and welcome to our Friday celebration assembly. This is it the first Stukeley Groove of 2022? I think we had it on last week, but I just love it. Anyway, welcome everyone. Let's get cracking, lots to do. For each other every day to improve together we will. Every single Stukeley day we focus on. Our Stukeley motto is, our Stukeley curriculum is, our Stukeley plan for home learning is. 4 words that make the magic happen. Yes, they do. Mr. Jones. Okay, welcome everyone. I hope you all know that I do this on a Friday, not because I like dancing in my garage on my own, but it just, when we celebrate, it just feels great. So that's why I do it. Let's get, I know I've started off in a bit of a fun mode, but let's remember it's assembly. So assembly behaviours, please. Slanting, can you sit up? I need you listening. You don't need to ask or answer any questions, just enjoy. Note your resources, there are no resources today, and track the speaker. I am the speaker, and believe me, I have lots to tell you today, so please listen in. I haven't forgotten that last week I started to talk to you about paths. Now, paths is a word that's going to help us all to remember to be kind and to remember our manners. Now, I talked about please and thank you last week. The p for please and thank you is the P in paths. I asked you to have a think about the other letters, and I'm now going to tell you what the A is for. The A is for apologise. I think it's really good manners, and all of your adults I know think it's really good manners that if you do something wrong, you say sorry, you apologise. And the thing usually with children, with young people, is that they only apologise when they're told to by someone else. How many times have you heard somebody say, what do you say? Oh, you've hurt them. What do you say to them? You know, it gets a bit boring for grown-ups, and it gets boring for children to hear. So we've got a lot more work to do on good manners and a lot more reminders. But this is my time in the assembly to say, remember your pleases and thank yous, especially in the dinner hall. That's where I don't hear them enough. And actually, if you do something wrong, and I'm on about accidents, so you knock somebody over by accident, somebody trips over you, your foot, by accident, you call somebody a name and then regret it, you forget to do something when you were asked to do it, you don't do a good enough job because you know you were being lazy or you weren't listening. Just saying, I'm sorry, and meaning it, that's good manners, that's a good attitude. So P for please and thank you, A for apologise. D and S will come next week, and they're exciting. Okay, let's get cracking. It's celebration assembly, it's shout out assembly. I've now got a lot of school shout outs to do. I've got a work hard certificate for every class. I've got a be kind certificate for every class. And I've got a nailed it certificate for every class. And I will explain them as we go along. Every single certificate has got a badge attached, just like the good old days. So if you get a Stukeley Meadows Working Hard certificate, you get your own little Work Hard badge. Look at that. Do you remember that? 2 years ago we did this, and then it all stopped. And we're bringing it back for popular demand, by popular demand. Right, let's find out who's been working hard this week. I'm not going to muck about because you haven't got much time. Right, for really trying hard to improve his reading and his writing in foundation stage, Patrick B. Well done, Patrick. For trying hard in all of his learning this week, Harry H. in foundation stage. For always working his hardest and avoiding distractions from others, that's Matthew in year 1. For working incredibly hard all week and striving to improve, that's Connor in year 1. Also, year 1 went a bit rogue. Mrs. Stevens got the giggles now, and so is Mr. Watley, and Mrs. Lewis probably is giggling as well. And the others, they picked up the certificates before it was time to write them and just wrote whatever they wanted. Won't happen next week, year 1s. For making great progress with reading and moving on to the next colour, that's Justin in year 1. And hey, it's another year 1 certificate because they didn't follow my instructions. For making progress with reading and also moving up a level, Reese in year 1. Year 2, Rihanna, for working so hard on your spellings and your handwritings. Gustavs, working hard on your rock stars and making progress with division questions. Susanna, tremendous design skills in your year 3 flipbook. Alicia, always giving 100% in every lesson. You love learning, yes you do. Rose in year 4, always doing your best in everything that you do and taking such care. Year 4, Max, really hard work and commitment in maths. Well done, Max. George, year 5, taking home extra maths several times to improve your multiplication. Improve your multiplication, George. Joseph S, perseverance and tenacity in multiplying with 2-digit numbers. Gabrish, hard work to increase your vocab and improve your writing every single day. And finally, Claudia, really great commitment in English to use the most appropriate vocabulary and share ideas. That is a lot of people working hard. They've all got the certificate. They have all got their badge, and they'll be getting them today after they've heard them in assembly. Well done. Now for being kind certificates, 1 for every class. I hope year 1 haven't written out 100 of them. Isabella E in foundation for being kind and helping friends when they're upset. What a lovely thing to hear. Genevieve in foundation stage, being kind to children and encouraging them to join in. Xander in year 1. Oh, this is a really nice story. Helping his friend with his coat zip and asking an adult if she'd like him to put her rubbish into the bin. What a lovely, lovely story, Xander. Well done. Year 2, Lila in Lila PK in year 2, helping her learning partner in maths. Well done, Lila. Zara also in year 2, Zara T being a great friend and always using beautiful manners all the time. Caius, year 3, always looking after friends if they're feeling upset. He's a very kind and sensitive boy. Isla in year 3, Isla C A, always thinking about others. And do you know what, Isla? I was in year 3 this week, and you are such a wonderful person, and we really appreciate all that you do. Dixie in year 4, kindness in class to others and always being helpful. Leah in year 4, kindness and being supportive to others in class. Saula, have a great weekend. Enjoy your lunch. These little comments from Saula really make a difference. And do you know what, Saula? They do, and we love you for it. Emma, a D in year 5, always helpful, always kind, always cheerful, great role model. In year 6, Grace, year 6, always showing kindness through her time in school. She never misses an opportunity to be kind. And Akshara, a kind, caring and considerate friend. And again, we love you for that. and we will miss you and all the other year sixes that bring that kindness to the school. There you be, kind certificates. Last one is when you've achieved something. The last certificate is when you've really got the hang of something and you've done it, and I've called it the Nailed It certificate. You have nailed it. You have done it. Tomek in foundation stage, great phoneme frame writing. Sam W for working so hard to perfect your handwriting. It is fantastic. You have done it. Olivia in year 1, Olivia C, working hard with your reading and moving on to the next level. You have got there. Freddie in year 2. You're becoming so speedy with your rock stars and you've nailed your 10s, Freddie. Harsha, you are working brilliantly on your phonics, you're making great progress and you're always smiling and we love it. Molly B in year 3. I've got a rhymer. I love a rhymer! You worked really well on your multiplication, 2-digit and 1-digit calculations. Well done, Molly. I've got a little battery thing, so I'm going to get rid of it. Jack M in year 3, increasing confidence in recalling your times tables out loud. You superstar. Owen in year 4, fantastic knowledge in geography when researching Europe. I was there and I heard it myself. Finn in year 4, great ideas in your English innovation. Well done, Finn. Edward in year 5, you have achieved the first year 5 AR millionaire in the whole year group. You are fantastic and you've got a double celebration also with your certificate for that. Well done. Patrick, persevering with multiplication, even though you found it tricky, you nailed it, Patrick, in year 5. Year 6, Tashina, an impressive increase in your AR word count, and you've now moved to a classic reader. Yes, you have. And finally, Lily H in year 6. Huge progress in reading. Keep reading, Lily. That's what Mrs. Peake says, and that's what we say. Well done, all of you who've got school shout-outs. I'm going to have to take this off because it's getting a bit itchy. Sorry, I realise that's not very attractive. Okay, it's now time for family shout-outs. The home shout-outs haven't actually got. I don't think I've got any. If somebody sent something in and I've missed it, I apologise. I'll get it in next week's. But yeah, if you do something at home, anything, Cubs, Beaver Scouts, Brownies, Guides, Rainbows, any clubs, football matches, achievements, you do some great learning at home, you help someone, you go to a community event, come on, get it in! Let's celebrate our wonderful community. Right, next up, it's Accelerated Reader. Let's go. Who's been reading lots and lots? Who is the reading leader? Who's been taking loads of quizzes on Accelerated Reader? Who's been reading lots and lots? Who's the reading leader? Who's been taking loads of quizzes on Accelerated Reader? Well done to every child in the school who's still reading at home 5 times a week. You should all be doing that in foundation, year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to read regularly, even if you can read every word and understand it all. Keep reading, take on new vocab, get lost in a book. These children have all got AR certificates this week, and if you haven't been given it, you'll get it today. Sorry for the scrap of paper, I left the other one at school. Well done to all our AR certificate winners, and especially well done to Edward in year 5. I've already mentioned him, but he's got his AR certificate, the first one in year 5. Big round of applause for Edward. But I'm also delighted to say we've got another millionaire in year 5. It's Grace. Now, Grace won't mind me saying this, I'm sure she won't. I have always been on at Grace to read. Ever since she started at Stukeley, she could read. She loved talking and sharing stories, vocabulary. She loved it. But she just didn't read enough. She just took too long. And every year, and her mum will know this, I used to say to her mum in the lockdown, Grace, read, Grace, read. Anyway, Grace has got a millionaire and I'm delighted to her and Edward. Yes, Grace, you've got it. It's not just me that will be delighted, it will be all of Grace's teachers, all of Edward's teachers and their families. Just brilliant. Okay, let's move on to Numbots and Rockstars. Who's been doing lots of maths? Jam is stored in jars. Who's been calculating lots on numbots and TT Rockstars? Who's been doing lots of maths? Jam is stored in jars. Who's been calculating lots on numbots and TT Rockstars? Okay, numbots and Rockstars fans. Nothing to celebrate yet because we haven't long been back. But what I can say is Mrs. Campbell has been setting some gig games. I'm not sure it all works straight away, but it should be fine now. If you haven't been online to do your gig game on Rockstars, please get on there because it's going to help us to work out where you're at. Well done if you're going on numbots. Doing it regularly, it is speeding up your maths. There's no way that it's not speeding up your maths. So get on it and do it. Right, Stukeley Prediction League. Love this. Okay, we've had an FA Cup week. We've had a week with FA Cup fixtures. Mr. Henson is still top. He's still up there, but it's getting tight. And Porridge City, my team, well, they're slowly sneaking up. Okay, if you're not a part of it, you can still join in, talk to Mrs. Wing. Well done, Mr. Henson. See if you can stay at the top, because I'm coming to get you. Yes, I am. Okay, right. Now, you can tell I'm excited. I'm bouncing around. Today, right now, you're going to see the first ever episode of How Long Will It Take to Be Triumphant. I explain the rules, I explain how it's going to work in this one, so it's a bit longer than normal, but then after that, it will be every week, different challenge. Nothing to say, just enjoy. How long will it take to be triumphant? How long will it take to be triumphant? How long will it take to be triumphant? How long will it take, do you think? How long will it take to be triumphant? Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first episode, the first ever episode of How Long Will It Take to Be Triumphant. Now, lots of you will know that we've taken our two favourite shows and we've put them together. We've taken How Long Will It Take and Who Will Be Triumphant? Who? We've taken both those shows and we've put them together. And what have we got? How long will it take to be triumphant? How did you get on with the song at the start? I hope you remembered to go, how long will it take to be triumphant? Who? You've got to get the how long and the who. You've got to get them in, if not, the magic doesn't happen. Anyway, welcome to this first episode. I'm now going to explain how it works, and then we're going to get our first activity going, and we'll find out where the points are going first of all. Okay, so every week I will set a challenge to 3 or 4 people. Okay, I'll set 3 or 4 people a challenge, and they'll all do it at the same time, most of the time. What you have to do is you have to work out how long the challenge will take. So how long the challenge will take and who will win it, who will be triumphant. So you've got 2 things to do with every challenge. Work out who will be triumphant and how long that person will take. We're always looking for how long the winner takes. Okay. You will get 5 points. I'll say that again. You will get 5 points if you get the correct winner. If you tell me who's triumphant and you're right, you get 5 points. The team or the person who gets the closest time to how long will it take, the first team get 8 points, the next team 7, 6, 5, 4. So it's just like the rules before, 8 points all the way down to 1 for how long, and you get a straight 5 points if you work out who's triumphant. We keep the scores going each week, we get the scoreboard out, we get the scores going, it's going to be brilliant. Okay, first of all, today's challenge. It's called Flip the Kipper. When I used to be a child at Christmas time, so when I was younger and it was Christmas time, everyone in the family used to make a game for us to play. Everybody in the family used to say, oh, I'm going to do bingo, or I'm going to do the newspaper game, or I'm going to do musical statues, whatever. We all used to think of a game. My dad always used to say, let's play Flip the Kipper. But because he's got quite a Norfolk kind of voice, you say, flip the kipper, let's play Flip the Kipper. Anyway, my dad used to say, let's play Flip the Kipper. Now this is how Flip the Kipper works. You cut out the shape of a fish or a kipper. You cut out the shape of a fish out of newspaper, and then you get another whole newspaper and you roll it up. And what you do is, you put the kipper on the floor, and then you bang the floor. You bang the floor as hard as you can with the newspaper, and it creates air, and that air, that kind of movement, makes the kipper move along. Now the deal is, you have to bang the floor. You're not allowed to kind of waft, you're not allowed to smash it through the air. You've got to bang the floor, and as you bang the floor, it moves the kipper. You are not allowed to kind of use this as a kind of make it windy. You're not allowed to do that. So that's Flip the Kipper. Here's today's challenge. I am going to get Mrs. Wing, Miss Lawrence, who is our student teacher in year 3, Mr. Smith and Mrs. Patterson to flip the kipper. I'm going to get Mrs. Wing, Miss Lawrence, Mr. Smith and Mrs. Patterson to flip the kipper. They're going to flip it about not quite halfway across the school hall. So imagine the school hall, there's actually a badminton court. There's a court that's mapped out on the floor. They're going to go halfway along that. The kipper's at one end and they've got to go halfway. How long will it take Mr. Smith, Mrs. Patterson, Miss Lawrence or Mrs. Wing to flip the kipper halfway along the badminton court in the hall? And most importantly, who will be triumphant? You need to tell me who will be triumphant and how long that person will take to flip the kipper. What do you think? Now, let's find out what all of the teams thought for the very first round of this show. Right, we've got Harry and Toby representing their foundation stage class. Harry, who do you think's going to be triumphant?
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. And Toby, how long do you think the triumphant person's going to take? Is that 1 minute 20?
Yes.
Hi Xavier, representing the year 1 team. Xavier, I've spoken to your class, haven't I? Yes. Xavier, who do you think is going to be triumphant in this challenge?
Mr. Smith.
And how long do you think the triumphant person is going to take?
56 seconds.
Okay. Hello Maya, here for the year 2 team. Maya, first of all, who do you think is going to be triumphant?
Mrs. Patterson.
Mrs. Patterson. And also Maya, how long do you think the triumphant person is going to take?
30 seconds.
30 seconds? Hey Conrad, representing the year 3 team. Conrad, who do you think is going to be triumphant with Flip the Kipper?
I think Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. And as a class, Conrad, how long do you think he's going to take to be triumphant?
3 minutes 30.
Ooh. Right, we've got Finn and Jensen representing the year 4 team. You excited, boys?
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, boys, so Flip the Kipper. Jensen, who do we think is going to be triumphant?
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. And Finn, how long do we think the triumphant person's going to take?
1 minute 30.
Ooh.
7 seconds.
1 minute 37 seconds. Here we have Edward representing the year 5 team. Edward, first of all, Flip the Kipper. Who's going to be triumphant?
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. And how long do you think the winner's going to take to be triumphant?
1 minute 10 seconds.
Okay. Hi Eloise, representing the year 6 team. Eloise, who do we think is going to be triumphant?
Mrs. Patterson.
Mrs. Patterson. Eloise, how long for Mrs. Patterson to be triumphant?
We think 69 seconds.
Oh, okay. Hello, Mrs. Cooper.
Hi.
Here representing the SOS team. Now, I know that you didn't do that well in the first series of How Long Will It Take, Mrs. Cooper, but this is new. This is new content. Mrs. Cooper, out of the 4 competitors, who's going to be triumphant?
Mr. Smith,
And how long is the triumphant person going to take?
30 seconds.
Okay. Well, we've got some very interesting predictions there, some really interesting ideas. So now, let's go live to the hall and let's flip the kipper and find out who's triumphant with 5 points and how long they take. Right, everybody, we're clear on the rules of how long will it take to be triumphant. How long will it take the first person to get their kipper over the line, and who will be triumphant? Will it be Mrs. Wing, Miss Lawrence, Mr. Smith, or Mrs. Patterson? Ready? Go! Stop, everybody, and stop. That is quite an impressive start to How Long Will It Take to Be Triumphant. I am so excited about this new show that I've left my garage and driven all the way into my office here in Stukeley to give you the scores. Yeah, I have. Okay, let's have a look to see how we all did. Now, each week I will go and ask a class what they think is going to happen, and then I'll choose a different child to do the video each week. If you didn't have me come into your class before this and say what do you think, I will choose you the next week. So each week I'll do a different class from each year group. Okay, well, the big 8 points go to year 2 and to the SOS team, because they both said 30 seconds and they were the closest to the 14-ish seconds that Mrs. Patterson took. So 8 points to year 2 and year SOS team. No 7 points because there's no second place. 6 points to year 1 with 56 seconds. 5 points to year 6. 4 points to year 5. 3 points to foundation. 2 points to year 4. And only 1 point to year 3. I mean, year 3, you were talking a big amount of time. If those guys had been flipping the kipper for 3 minutes 30 seconds, I mean, I would lose my job. I mean, that's not good skills. But anyway, well done for those points. And I haven't forgotten, there's also the big 5 points to year 2 for saying Mrs. Patterson would be triumphant, and to year 6, the big 5 points for saying Mrs. Patterson would be triumphant. So let's look at our first league table. Let's look at our first scores of this new show. Right at the top, year 2, they've got 13. That's the most points you can get in one go. The full 8 and the 5 for the triumphant. So well done, year 2. And year 3, how times have changed. You won the whole show, How Long Will It Take? And after round 1, you are bottom of How Long Will It Take to Be Triumphant? Let's try and change it next week. I'll see you all next week for the second ever episode of How Long Will It Take to Be Triumphant? Who? How long will it take to be triumphant? How long will it take to be triumphant? How long will it take to be triumphant? How long will it take, do you think? How long will it take to be triumphant? What a first show that was. Incredible. Right, birthdays. Hey, 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 it's time to say we've got a Stukeley birthday. Hey, 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 it's time to say we've got a Stukeley birthday. Oh, come on! Okay, we haven't got any Stukeley birthdays today that I know of, but we are saying at the weekend I think it's on Sunday. Happy birthday, Freya, in year 3. Sorry, Freya, I was just checking in my head that it is Sunday. Happy birthday, Freya. Hope you have a great day with family. I mean, your brother's just today got his certificate, so it's going to be celebrations in the household this weekend. Tell me all about it next week. Right, let's finish off with everyday knowledge for you. Yes.
And we are learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, everyday knowledge for you. And we are learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, everyday knowledge for you.
Okay, everyone, I'm going to go fast today. I'm going to go really quick. I'm going to move over here. Before I go fast, I'm going to introduce you to this new piece of art. It's probably the most famous, one of, or the most famous pieces of art in the whole world. It's by an artist called Leonardo da Vinci. Let's say that together. Leonardo da Vinci, and it's called the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa, I'm sure lots of you have seen it before. It's the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. Just going to throw that there so you know. Okay, I'm going to stay over here. I'm not going to use my fingertips and my pointy thing. I'm not going to do that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put some pieces of art up there. They're not going to be there very long. They are not going to stay for long, but when they pop up, you're not going to wait for the fingers. You're just going to say what they are. So as soon as it comes up, you're going to say it in a nice voice, not shouty. Right, here we go. Next one. Next one. Next one. Next one. Next one. Next one. Okay, now I'm going to put the artworks up again. You're not going to tell me the piece of art. You're going to tell me the artist. You're going to tell me who produced it. Let's go. And stop. Okay, we've done quite a lot of art in our everyday knowledge so far. Next week, I'm going to bring another subject in as well. See you then.